mental mishmash that you've been living in for the last 4 years. You have to kiss goodbye. It was a nice party for 4 years, but it's over.
Yes.
Okay? But if you moved a car and there was an accident, you're at least partially responsible. She doesn't think she's responsible at all for creating the problem. But it would have cost you at least $350 to get your car out of impound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $350. You pay for half, he pays for half. Bye.
Excuse me, step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
He said he would pay for it
It was more of like a reactionary
and then changed his mind, I guess.
type event on my part where I felt like
He didn't think it was his fault anymore.
kind of scared at first, wasn't sure what to do.
I don't know, maybe just because
But then as I had time to mull it over,
he's an irresponsible person.
I realized that I don't think I'm very responsible at all.
News 4 San Antonio at 5. We're here for you.
This was a tragedy waiting to happen.
Tonight, we're following the latest details after a San Antonio police officer shoots and kills a man on the north side. How a domestic violence crisis quickly escalated.
Breaking developments from Uvalde as the Uvalde School District abruptly fires a controversial new hire in their police department. We hear from the district, the governor, and the parents of those killed at Robb Elementary.
And it's your chance to make a difference and win a new home. Our St. Jude Dream Home phone bank is happening now. Details next.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for News 4 San Antonio at 5. I'm Robert Price.
And I'm Simone D'Alba. Breaking news out of the north side where San Antonio police confirm an officer has shot and killed a man who they say showed up at his ex-girlfriend's house with a gun.
Police say he'd been stalking her. News 4 San Antonio's Jim Lefkoe joining us live near Blanco and Wurzbach Parkway with the very latest. Jim.
Robert, good afternoon. We're near the intersection of West and Patricia Streets, where police today shot and killed a 33-year-old man. Police Chief William McManus tells us the incident revolved around an estranged couple who dated for 5 years before breaking up a year ago. The woman had obtained a restraining order against him, but she notified police he was at her house this morning. That prompted SAPD to dispatch more than half a dozen officers, where they found him outside her home.
He came out with a gun, pointed the gun at his head, and then started heading back into where the complainant was, and at that point the officer shot to keep him from getting back to the female.
The woman, who was in her mid-20s, was unarmed.
It's ironic that this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The message always is, if you're having difficulties in an abusive relationship, then you should call us and let us know.
This officer-involved shooting was the second in this area this week. The first occurred Sunday night, about a mile from here to McDonald's. The officer involved in that shooting has been fired. Reporting from the north side, Jim Lefkoe. Back to you.
New at 5, the Uvalde School District under fire tonight after news broke of what victims' families believe is another breach in trust with them.
Today, the district announced they fired Officer Crimson Elizondo from their police department, recently hired after serving as a Texas DPS trooper who responded to Robb Elementary the day of the tragedy. After the school shooting, she resigned from her job at DPS, one of 7 troopers under investigation for their roles that day, only to join the Uvalde School District Police Force.
The district claims they did not know about the investigation and fired Elizondo today after news broke of the hiring last night. But tonight, parents are continuing to protest, demanding accountability.
News 4 San Antonio's Matt Roy is live in Uvalde with their reaction to this firing. Matt?
Yeah, Robert, Simone, if there was any trust left between parents and the Uvalde School District, it's pretty much gone now. The hiring and subsequent firing of Crimson Elizondo was the ultimate sign of disrespect to the families who've been protesting out here all day. They're actually on the back of the building now. Most of them now are hoping and demanding that Superintendent Hal Harrell and his administration resign after this action. In video obtained by CNN, then DPS trooper Crimson Elizondo is shown to not properly be equipped, stays on the outskirts of Robb Elementary, and says this.
No, if my son had been in there, no, I would not have been outside, I promise you that.
While wearing a uniform stained with blood from kids, like Brett Cross's son, Uzziah Garcia.
The blatant slap in the face is disrespectful, so they don't care.
Parents like Cross are outraged that Crimson Elizondo was hired by UCISD. He's been demanding all the officers be suspended pending an investigation.
Now I still want the same thing, but she needs to be gone.
Now she is. UCISD releasing this statement today saying, in part, we're deeply distressed by the information that was disclosed yesterday evening. Effective today, Crimson Elizondo has been terminated. Grieving families are now questioning any hiring and vetting processes the district has. They're asking, how could you not know?
It's ridiculous. You know, every business, every employer does background checks or follows up with your previous employer.
CNN is now reporting on July 28th, DPS sent a letter telling UCISD that Elizondo was under investigation for actions inconsistent with training and department requirements. We are unaware if this was before or after Elizondo was officially hired by the district. Before this news broke, though, Superintendent Hal Harrell met with Cross and Cazares, mentioned nothing of the officer.
It sucks. It sucks that I go back to that little trust and then it's the same. Something else comes and slaps us in the face.
And you never told him, Dr. Harrell, you never told him that this was coming out. You betrayed him one more time. The time has come, Dr. Harrell. It is time for you to resign. It is time for your administration, your directors, anybody that's been responsible in this, Dr. Harrell. It is time for you to resign. Nothing less than that.
You can just hear the broken trust and the hurt in those families' voices, because every time something like this comes out, they have to relive this once again, the day that they lost their family members. But it doesn't stop there. They're also asking for DPS Director Steve McCraw's resignation, especially after September 9th. He said that if there was any culpability on his troopers for what happened on May 24th, he said he would resign. They think that Elizondo is that culpability, asking for his resignation as well. And until that happens, Brett Cross will be camping on the other side of this building, asking and demanding for accountability. Matt Roy, News 4, San Antonio.
Matt, thank you. Well, this afternoon, Governor Greg Abbott weighed in on the hiring and firing of this officer by the Uvalde School District. He says the blame lies with district officials and them alone.
So that school district had full information about the status of the person they chose to go ahead and hire. And it's up to the school district, not DPS, not anybody else, to have to own up to the poor decision that they made.
Abbott was in New Braunfels today for a roundtable discussion with local business leaders. We'll show you what they discussed coming up tonight at 6.
News 4 San Antonio's Amanda Henderson has obtained Crimson Elizondo's personnel file from her time at DPS. She joins us live with what she's uncovered. Amanda?
Robert, there's a lot to break down, so here's what we know. She started with the department in 2018, and according to this letter we just obtained, UCISD knew as of July 28th that Elizondo was referred to the Office of the Inspector General. The allegation says that Elizondo's actions were inconsistent with DPS training and department requirements, and it also stated no action had been taken against Elizondo, but an investigation was pending, and this all happened a month before Uvalde CISD announced they had hired 3 officers and had 4 recommended for the department's force. That came at a school board meeting, and we've also received a copy of emails sent back and forth between DPS and the Uvalde School District. So coming up tonight on News 4 San Antonio at 10, we're going to break down the entire timeline of who knew what and when. Reporting in studio, I'm Amanda Henderson.
Other news we're following tonight, a San Antonio woman is behind bars, accused of carrying out a vicious attack on her ex-boyfriend and his wife in the parking lot of an East Side HEB. Here's a look at 34-year-old Amanda Diane Christian. Police say she walked up to a woman who had just finished shopping at the HEB on North New Braunfels and struck her across the face with a metal bar. She then reportedly tried to stab the woman's husband with a screwdriver, making contact with his chin. The husband told police that Christian was his ex-girlfriend, but that he hadn't seen her in at least 10 years. She is now charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
New tonight, a follow-up now on accusations of dark money being used to sling mud in the race for Bexar County judge. On Monday, GOP candidate Trish DeBerry accused attorney Thomas J. Henry, along with advertisement placement agency the PM Group, of using dark money to produce false negative attack ads against her. In other words, secretly funding spots through anonymous donations. DeBerry also called out her opponent, Democrat Peter Sakai, for not condemning the attacks against her. Both the PM Group and Sakai denied her claims on Monday, claims she made without any evidence. Well, today it was Thomas J. Henry's turn to weigh in, standing on the steps once again of the Bexar County Courthouse, this time surrounded by dozens of women, plus photos of female judges he does support. Henry categorically denied DeBerry's allegations.
And I can tell you emphatically that the representations made by DeBerry, they're false, they're lies. I have not put a single penny into the Bexar County race.
Well, anyone who runs for office in Bexar County must file campaign finance reports that include individual campaign contributions. You can find a link to view those reports at news4sa.com. Meantime, political action committees must file their reports with the Texas Ethics Commission. The PM Group and Thomas J. Henry both advertise on News 4 and our sister station, Fox San Antonio.
Right now, if you haven't bought a ticket yet to our St. Jude Dream Home giveaway, today's your chance. We're holding a phone bank today, and tickets are going fast. They cost $100 each, with all proceeds going directly to St. Jude Children's Hospital. More than 6,000 have already been sold. That means we have less than 2,000 tickets left, and if you can't wait to get one, go to dreamhouse.org or call the number on your screen, 1-800-667-3578. One representative tells us San Antonio comes through big time when it comes to this cause, which helps kids beat cancer.
This is the 9th annual home giveaway that St. Jude has had here in San Antonio. They've raised over $7 million through the years. So San Antonio's been very good and generous for the past few years, and we're really happy to be a part of it.
Just an incredible cause. Tonight at 10, we'll introduce you to a San Antonio family whose son was treated at St. Jude. The incredible work the hospital does to help patients and families recover.
President Joe Biden's approval rating is up. Who the numbers show is responsible for these gains.
Plus, the surprising number of people who are struggling with long COVID, the symptoms to look out for.
You're watching News 4 San Antonio.
At Thomas J. Henry, our results speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust.
Dr. Murphy knows that not everything goes according to plan.
Any questions?
But as a member of Credit Human, Dr. Murphy builds financial slack so he can expect the unexpected. Learn how you can avoid financial stress at credithuman.com.
30 years ago, Dan Patrick started working with families of children with disabilities and has never stopped. He's raised over $15 million in private donations to help those families. As Lieutenant Governor, he's made it a priority to pass legislation to help children with disabilities get the resources they need, because every Texan matters.
I'm Dan Patrick. It's an honor to be your Lieutenant Governor, and I ask for your vote.
Uvalde, Texas, a small town that has become yet another landmark. Back now with our NBC News exclusive.
The race for critical minerals needed for high-tech products we use every day.
Will we ever be able to compete with someone like China?
I think as a country, when we're backed into a corner and the chips are down, we rise to our best.
On the next Full Measure.
Sunday morning at 9 on News 4 San Antonio.
We need to find this man now.
Never seen him before in my life. He's a career criminal. This guy's really on a tear.
He's hijacked a car. And Elliot, there's something else.
How do we transform the health of our unique communities? At UT Health San Antonio, we do everything it takes. We put everything we have into tailoring world-class care precisely to your needs, with a passion for people, a heart for healing, all coming to life in our promise to do everything it takes in our relentless pursuit of the healthiest you. UT Health San Antonio.
I'm Henry Cuellar, and I approve this message.
Was there something specific that you objected to?
I haven't looked at the entire bill, but what? Far-right extremists are gutting retirement benefits. Those slash Medicare and Social Security, benefits we paid for with every paycheck. While we've carefully planned for our future, Cassie Garcia will help them gut our retirement benefits. Far-right extremists will leave South Texas seniors empty-handed. Don't let Cassie Garcia take what's ours.
Making headlines, President Joe Biden's approval rating is up for the third straight month, according to the latest NPR poll. 44% of U.S. adults approve of the job that Biden's doing. That's up from 38% in August, his low of 36% in July, and 40% in June. The recent boost comes from more support from Democrats and independents. Independents' approval rating for Biden shot up 9 percentage points from August, and Democrats' approval went up by 8 points. Republicans' approval of Biden only went from 3 to 6%.
For your health, long COVID is still limiting day-to-day activities for millions of Americans. According to new CDC data, more than 1 in 4 adults with long COVID reported significant limitation to their daily routines. In fact, nearly 30% of adults who got COVID report having long COVID at some point. Out of the 24 million Americans who currently have long COVID, more than 80% say they still have trouble carrying out daily activities. Symptoms can be shortness of breath, difficulty concentrating, brain fog, and chronic fatigue. Just ahead, unanswered questions in the wake of Hurricane Ian, including who should foot the massive bill.
A new survey indicates 1 in 2 Hispanic households has at least one member who is not digitally literate. The major investment announced today, looking to change that right here in San Antonio.
There were residents who hung on for dear life. I've heard people say the town is gone. Do you see it that way?
Absolutely not. We've lost some houses, but our community's still here.
My husband was killed in a car accident. I called the force. Jeff settled my case and I received a confidential amount. Although the money won't bring my husband back, it did allow me to take care of my kids now that he's gone.
If you've been in a car or truck wreck, call me at 444-4444. There's only one number to remember. 4.
Here for you with your most accurate forecast 4 years in a row.
On May 24th, our children's voices were silenced.
We never wanted to be on camera.
We're not political people, but we have to fight for change.
Because no child is safe in their school while Greg Abbott is governor.
He won't act. So we need to vote him out. On May 24th, our children's voices were silenced. On November 8th, you can be their voice.
At Thomas J. Henry, our results speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust.
Luxury apartment, private plane. Henry Cuellar likes to live the high life, but it doesn't stop there. Cuellar uses the system to enrich himself and his family. His campaign bankrolled his politically connected family. Taxpayer funds were earmarked for his brother's employer. And he's funneled nearly $100,000 of campaign funds right back into his pocket. Henry Cuellar. He makes Washington work for the Cuellars. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
For a limited time, when you install a new Daikin Fit system, you'll get a 12-year parts and compressor warranty, a 12-year unit replacement warranty, and a 12-year labor warranty. Contact Buyer Air Conditioning and Heating to learn more about the Daikin Fit home comfort system.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kind of got a sixth sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. New vehicles are arriving weekly at your local Buick dealers. Available for immediate delivery with no interest. Buick, ranked #1 brand in the industry for new vehicle quality.
It's been just over a week since Hurricane Ian made landfall in Florida, killing at least 125 people and leaving cities unrecognizable. Hurricane Ian is the latest natural disaster, raising questions about federal aid and whether taxpayers should be paying for some homeowners to rebuild in areas that are high risk for another disaster.
In the past, communities have been required to rebuild as is and not
doing things that might improve their resilience in the future.
Young says the U.S. doesn't have solid pre-disaster planning for how changes could be made to vulnerable communities. Now, in the aftermath of Ian's destructive path, the debate continues over funding rebuilding efforts.
A new survey indicates 1 in 2 Hispanic households has at least one member who is not digitally literate, not able to find and communicate information digitally or online. Around half of those surveyed said increased literacy and better access to technology would make life easier and lead to better job opportunities. To address this need, today, Frito-Lay announced a new partnership with LULAC to support a free digital literacy program in 8 U.S. markets, including right here in San Antonio.
Well, this is cool. Check this out. Some San Antonio children are learning about Texas geography in a big way. First graders at Tomlinson Elementary are getting a close-up view of our state. It's all thanks to this supersized map. The school's library is the perfect spot for them to explore the state, learning about cities, borders, and topography. Topography was the word I was trying to get there.
Hey, I love that idea.
It was
That's
cool,
great.
Right? Everything's bigger in Texas. You see the giant
right
map.
it is.
I mean,
yes,
teach them young. That was pretty cool.
And teachers kind of going outside the box here to kind of, you know, what is impressionable for young boys and girls.
Definitely.
And a giant Texas map in the library will do it.
Love it. Love it. Also loving the cooler morning.
Yeah, the morning's really nice. And then this afternoon, we touched 90 degrees. So
it was getting warm out there,
Yeah, it is hot out there. Now, the humidity makes it a little bit more tolerable. Let's say good evening to our 4-zone weather watchers checking in, and we start down in Jordanton. There's Steve Desprez, 91. Joseph Orsak in Gillette, 90 degrees. Kevin Schertz, 87. And there's Lisa Smith in Sabinal, 90. Victor out in Eagle Pass in the upper 80s. And, of course, Barry West and Gilbert Wheeler way out there at Carter Valley to Del Rio. 82 to 87 degrees. Every Thursday, we get a brand new drought update. So this is the way it looked a week ago. I'll roll on this and step aside. And you see there was an expansion of severe drought across Lavaca County, working eastbound on I-10. A little bit more extreme drought now into the hill country. And of course, this is of no surprise. I mean, you can't buy a raindrop. It's like pulling teeth. Here we are this month, haven't even had a drop in the gauge. So we're now pushing 3/4 of an inch behind early in the month. And then for the year, over 17 inches behind on rainfall. Over the past 3 years, we're over 2 feet behind on rainfall here. This is the driest year on record in San Antonio to this point. Of course, it's having an impact on our lake levels. There's Medina Lake, 7.4% full. Canyon Lake's down about roughly about 8 feet. There you have Lake Amistad. It's actually been coming up just a bit. Low point was about 32% full a couple months ago. And Choke Canyon, there it is, 33.6%. And really no help out there today. Little fair weather clouds, that's about it. We do have a couple little showers, northern Valverde County and then out of our area. That's as close as they got today to our region. So across our 4 zones, our World Car Weather Cam network, I'll step aside there. You can see the beautiful sky conditions. May not be raining, but it is a pretty sky. From Uvalde, 86, 87 into Kerrville. And it is a code orange air quality index level at 112. That's unhealthy for sensitive groups. That's our current level. And again, tomorrow, the expectation is that low-level ozone will build up once again because of an area of high pressure, which is keeping us dry. It's also keeping sort of a lid on the atmosphere. It's pretty stagnant. Daytime emissions with the sunshine, and it cooks up and builds up that low-level ozone. The rain showers, they're just off to the west. But again, this is a low that's pretty stationary. So in the coming days, I mean, we might see a random little sprinkle tomorrow, but really not much of a rain chance, just a lot of clouds mixed in with some sunshine. And then over the weekend, the best rain chance would be out towards Valverde County Sunday into a Monday. So UTSA tailgating, big game. Western Kentucky's in town. You're going to the Alamo Dome. Kickoff is at 5 o'clock. The tailgate looks good. It'll be toasty, warm, hot. And of course, we have the Light the Night Walk after the game, or maybe some of you maybe want to venture down the Hemisphere and not the Alamo Dome. You got options this weekend. Well, this is a great fundraising effort here for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and here at News 4, we're proud partners of that. So love to see you out there. All right, potential tropical cyclone 13 forecast to become Hurricane Julia, but a track into Central America, no impact for Texas. So here's your day tomorrow, 66, 88, the afternoon high, 7-day forecast here. There you can see as we take you through the 7 days. Next week, a front coming down late Thursday will bring with it an isolated shower or a thunderstorm. We'll put that rain chance 10, 20%. Out west, it's the 80s and very low on the rain chances through the weekend, about 10-20%. Hill country, you see next week opportunities for a shower or thunderstorm as well as our eastern zone. Robert, over to you.
Thank you, Chris. It's Thursday, and that means Thursday Night Lights. Tonight, it's the 4th-ranked Alamo Heights Mules taking on the Jefferson Mustangs. Our Don Harris, always soaring to new heights as the voice of Thursday Night Lights. He joins us live from Alamo Stadium. Don?
Robert, it is always a thrill to call a game at the Rockpile Alamo Stadium. You're right. Tonight we're going to see some of the best players in all of San Antonio. We've got a preview next.
Move hard, move fast.
We'll fight like hell together.
When you start with better ingredients, better pizza, you also get better papadillas, better cheese sticks, better yummy this, and better tasty that.
You can get with this, or you can get with that.
Get any two or more for just $6.99 each. That's Papa John's.
I worked hard for my Social Security and Medicare, but we can't trust Cassie Garcia to protect those benefits. She's with Washington corporate interests that will risk the care and retirement I've worked for my whole life. Garcia even supported a plan imposing an age tax, allowing seniors to be charged more for the health coverage, or even kicked off completely. Cassie Garcia is not for us. DCCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better brace yourself because this right here is a Papa John's Papa Bowl. No crust, just piping hot toppings and melty cheese in an oven-baked bowl. Better ingredients, better pizza, now in a bowl. Papa John's.
Research shows that people remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Look what I brought!
Liberty Mutual! They customize your home insurance!
So you only pay for what you need.
Young people having a good time with insurance. Young people, good times, insurance.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
So Wendy's Biggie Bag is all this food for just $5, and we're not calling it the Reggie Bag?
Oh, no.
What if it's the Reggie Bush?
Definitely not.
The Biggie number 5 Bush?
No way.
Reggie Bush number 5 bag.
Oh, no.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag.
Hi, I'm Eileen. I live in Vancouver, Washington, and I write mystery novels. Dogs have been such an important part of my life. I have Flynn and a new puppy. As I was writing, I found that I just wasn't as sharp, and I knew I needed to do something. So I started taking Prevagen. I realized that I was much more clear, and I was remembering the details that I was supposed to. Prevagen keeps my brain working right.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Want more from your vitamins? Get more with Nature's Bounty. From the first ever triple action sleep supplement to daily digestive support to more wellness solutions every day. Get more with Nature's Bounty.
This is the Thomas J. Henry Sports Desk.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the historic Rockpile Alamo Stadium, where tonight we've got a big district showdown between the Alamo Heights Mules and the Jefferson Mustangs here on Thursday Night Lights. The Jefferson Mustangs are a young squad in this district, but they have a lot of fire. Their quarterback, Amonte Carter, is a real force on offense. They're just 1-3 in district play, but they've been in every single game. And they're looking forward to playing on TV tonight. They know that Alamo Heights is a heavy favorite here, but head coach Edward Cardenas says they've got a plan.
Coach Ritter, man, those guys do a great job with those kids. And yeah, they're definitely keeping us up at night. But most of all, it's they play good technique. You know, they're good technicians, and they got good size and speed. But if we can hold on to that football and run the clock, that's going to be our advantage.
We're hungry. You know, we came off of our first win, and then the next week it didn't go our way. But so what, man? We're on the next week. We have 5 more games. We're here to ball out with our seniors. There's nothing else I could ask for. We're gonna be ready. I promise you that.
Yeah, you gotta like the moxie of Jefferson. They will fight you. Alamo Heights and the Mustangs tonight kicks off at 7 o'clock on our sister station, we'll have the call on the CW35. Hey, it's time to announce the winner of this week's Friday Night Fever Play of the Week, and it's this one right here. Brennan's Ashton DeBose continues his excellence. He had 5 touchdowns in the Bears' latest win, and he took home the majority of the vote. Here's how it turned out. Brennan's DeBose got 55% of the vote. The 100-yard kickoff return by Ricky Gonzalez got 35%, and Evans from Brandeis picked up 10% of the vote. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll be live with Alamo Heights coach Ron Rittiman. Much more on TNL Week 7 coming up at 6 o'clock. At Alamo Stadium, Don Harris, News 4 San Antonio.
There's a clear and present danger in neighborhoods like this. It's deadly fentanyl, and it's killing our kids. How's it getting here? Right here, through our border.
This year alone, law enforcement has seized enough fentanyl in Texas to kill millions. But Beto O'Rourke supports open borders. He says there isn't a problem at our border. Not a problem? Drug cartels, human traffickers, the most dangerous border in the world. Beto O'Rourke, too radical, too dangerous for Texas.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. But one day, this lecture hall will be made of code. And though they're virtual students, what they'll learn together is real. A surgeon will be able to practice as many times as needed in the metaverse before laying her hands on a real patient. Being able to explore a spacecraft is one thing, but the metaverse will let us go farther than any rocket can take us. In the future, students will be able to take a field trip to ancient Rome. And young artists can learn from a masterpiece. Farmers will one day use augmented reality to help ensure the best yields. And urban planners will be able to model traffic solutions to help decrease commute times. So while the metaverse may be virtual, the impact will be real.
For the first time in a while, Gunn Buick GMC has new vehicles in stock. Inventory is growing, and that's good news, because when you know what you want, nothing else will do. And when you want a Buick or GMC, you go to Gunn. No haggling. Just one simple price, clearly posted on every vehicle. So there's no question and no add-ons. No surprises. That's the way it works at Gunn. And we honor our 48-hour return policy because we want you to be happy. Real happy. So come on in. Gunn Buick GMC. Real. Simple.
I'm Henry Cuellar, and I approve this message.
Was there something specific that you objected to? I haven't looked at the entire bill, but
what? Far-right extremists are gutting retirement benefits. Those slash Medicare and Social Security, benefits we paid for with every paycheck. While we've carefully planned for our future, Cassie Garcia will help them gut our retirement benefits. Far-right extremists will leave South Texas seniors empty-handed. Don't let Cassie Garcia take what's ours.
we need to find this man now.
Never seen him before in my life. He's a career criminal. This guy's really on a tear.
He's hijacked a car. And Elliot, there's something else.
The News 4 troubleshooters are here for you.
Coming up at 6, Governor Greg Abbott was in New Braunfels today talking with owners of small businesses what he is promising if he gets reelected.
And on the evening break, don't put away your mask just yet. We'll tell you about the new concerns regarding COVID-19 this winter.
That is all the time we have tonight at 5. Nightly News is next.
Right, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 6.
Tonight, the historic move from President Biden toward decriminalizing marijuana. The president announcing he's pardoning everyone federally convicted of simple marijuana possession, impacting thousands of Americans, at what he's ordered top cabinet officials to do, signaling a major shift in U.S. policy on pot. Also tonight, news on the president's son, Hunter Biden. New reporting that the feds believe there's enough evidence to bring a criminal case against him. What charges could he he face? The new twist in the Herschel Walker firestorm. The woman who said the GOP Senate candidate paid for her abortion, now saying she also had a child with him. How the former NFL star is responding. The deadly stabbing rampage outside a Las Vegas casino. The search for a motive tonight. The massacre at a daycare killing at least 36, most of them preschoolers in Thailand. What we're learning about the attacker. 2 Russians fleeing Putin's draft, escaping to the U.S. and requesting asylum. How they got to Alaska. The major U.S. city taking drastic measures to combat its police shortage, what it's hiring civilians to do. And at age 100, he's showing no signs of slowing down. The Marathon Man, inspiring America.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, everyone. With recreational marijuana use now legal in 19 states, it has been easy to forget pot is still very much illegal under federal law, where the drug is classified right alongside LSD and heroin. But tonight, President Biden declaring it's time to right the wrongs of what he called a failed